Ghana's government is seeking to expand TVET access. Executive Secretary of GLOSSAG, Isaac Bampo, has come under some sort of scrutiny or fire from the TVET division of the Public Service Workers Union for calling on President Mahama to scrap technical vocational education training agencies from the civil service. Now, GLOSSAG say they duplicate functions of the civil service, and we want to talk to Mr. John Sampa. He's the Deputy General Secretary at Public Service Workers Union of TUC. Sir, thank you so much for joining us. Now, GLOSSAG is arguing that TVET agencies duplicate functions of the civil service. Do you agree or disagree? And what evidence supports your claim?
Thank you very much, and good morning to our listeners. I have also listened to the previous conversation, and I associate with all the contribution from Comrade Musa and also Dr. Andy.
Right.
I should say that the concern of the Public Service Workers Union, the division of the Ghana TVET Service, is the fact that while we are all talking about emphasis on skills delivery and employable skills to our youth, we strangely received a call and an urge from the Executive Secretary for the President to consider scrapping or abolishing TVET education, also because he said it was duplication. We disagree with him. TVET education did not start today. It has been in existence many, many years ago, over 40 years ago, 45 years ago. We have had these TVET institutions scattered across different ministries, some of them under Employment Ministry, Social Advance under Civil Service. Every ministry you go, you will see TVET education. And therefore, it was not properly placed under Ministry of Education for proper supervision, resource allocation, taking good care of staff, and making sure that it is well coordinated. And that is exactly what all of us in the TVET industry have advocated many years ago. And of course, we have all these institutions merged up in 2020. And we think that it is a good thing. And we were very happy, or I was very happy yesterday when I was listening to Honorable Haruna, when he said that he's rather going to expand TVET education. Because if we train everybody in the grammar and there is no skills, how do we develop our country? How do we industrialize our country? So we think that call was misguided, it was misinformation, and
right.
But it's interesting,
consider, rather expanding and making necessary investment in TVET education.
Benjamin here, you call it misinformation. That's what got me interested. Is that to say, I mean, he's your executive secretary, right? Do these conversations not percolate? Are these not conversations that are had internally? Because it appears you, the members, are standing on one end and your executive secretary is saying something completely different. How did that happen, and why are you calling it misinformation?
Okay, so of course we have different unions that operate in the different sectors.
Right.
CLOSSAG and Dr. Bampo operate mainly in the civil service. The civil service is not Ministry of Education. If it was Musa that was talking about this, I would say that he's a subject expert in that area. And I think that maybe he misunderstood TVET education. TVET education is not today. It was not started 2020. It was just fragmented education scattered around different ministries that have been put together under Ghana TVET to be well coordinated under the Ministry of Education. And we think it's a good direction, and it must be applauded, and rather more investment made in TVET education.
Okay, sir, please hold for me. Let's do this step by step. Are you saying that civil service does not house the Ghana Education Service?
Okay, so the civil service does not house the Ghana Education Service.
Right.
Ghana Education Service is under the Ministry of Education. The civil service is in charge of government machinery. And under one of the department, social welfare, they have some small vocational education. That cannot actually constitute a good percentage of education. And of course, the civil service don't regulate education in Ghana. So the proper place to be placed is the Ministry of Education. And so all the various different ministries that had small vocational skills. They have put all of them together into the Ghana TVET.
Right.
So
Please hold there for me. Now, both the GES and the TVET, so everything that you just said, they are tasked with overseeing teacher training and curriculum implementation in technical education. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
Yes. So is that not a duplication of roles?
No. So under the Ministry of Education, we have two main agencies. We have the Ghana Education Service that I would say primarily focus on grammar education. And we have the Ghana TVET Service that deals with vocational technical training and more of employable skills. So they are both supervised. There are two major agencies now under the Ministry of Education.
Just a quick one, Mr. Bampo, or Mr. Sampai, I beg your pardon. Is there any point where there is some duplication that we can realign? Now, I get the distinction you are bringing to bear, but are there any gray areas where we could fine-tune better and remove any excesses or hive off excesses, as Isaac Bampo says?
For now, I do not see at all. What we rather need is to make more investment and make a lot of youth go into TVET training. All of us are going to the secondary school. When we finish, what percentage get access to the tertiary or the universities? At the end of it, how many people have skills that are matched to our industries? So the focus now is rather TVET education and making sure that many of our youth that complete school without any skills are going into TVET. They are getting employable skills that when they finish schools with the necessary infrastructure, they can even start their own business without necessarily getting employed.
And do you feel maybe this will help with the situation with NEETs, especially young people who are not in education, training, anything, who are not employed, not in education, not in training? Will this TVET help in that regard?
Yes, TVET will help in that regard. And that has been the situation all the time. In those days, we had the National Vocational Training Institute that was placed under Employment Ministry. And I'm happy that Honorable Haruna Idrisu was once minister, and he supervised over that. So we have ISES, we have many other vocational schools placed different ministries. Now that we have put them together, and in fact, because they were not placed under education, the budgetary allocation to the education ministry, the GET fund and other resources that is to be spent on education could not be utilized on them because they were not under the education. Now, the Minister of Education will know that I have grammar training, I have TVET and employable skills, and under TVET, we also have apprenticeship, where there are people who may not necessarily be too much inclined in the writing or too much academically inclined, but they can use their hands to learn something. And all these people are coordinated. So now, people that are learning trade, apprentice, all of them, under the Ghana TVET Service and under the division of the apprenticeship, there is room for all these people, and the government now is providing supervision through the Ministry of Education, and that is the way to go.
In terms of the cost involved, now be that as it's made, that you're trying to differentiate the role of GES and the role of TVET. Are there not some roles that are overlapping where we can consolidate these to save money? Because at the end of the day, running parallel agencies, we are bearing the cost of all this, are we not? Is there a way we can consolidate some of these agencies into one, under one big umbrella? Not exactly, what he's saying, like scrapping it. Is there a way we can do that?
Thank you very much. And that is the reason why I agree with the Honorable Minister when he said that he will do stakeholder consultation, and where there is necessary, there will be review. We are all ready to participate in that process and to make meaningful contribution. But if there is any duplication at all, it will rather be complementary. Also because the Ghana TVET or TVET education did not start 3 years or 4 years ago. It has started over 45 years ago, except that they were scattered at different ministries. Okay? I am actually a product of Ghana TVET. I attended the then NVTI, and they were supervising skills training. And the police, the military, the fire service, they were all employing these people. So it is just a matter of bringing them together, enriching the teaching and learning and the welfare of the staff, and making sure that we have them sit under the right place, the Ministry of Education, with a sole responsibility of the minister, taking care that whether you are doing apprenticeship, whether you are doing grammar training, whether you are doing technical training, you are supervised under the Ministry of Education.
Do you think that the people involved, the students, parents and all that, they understand clearly what these different agencies do? Or is there a need for us to actually create awareness and educate the public enough about what you guys do and what GES and all that, what their roles are?
Okay, so what we need now is to enrich the policy, making sure that we give enough resource allocation, and we must also engage stakeholders, and we must let every Ghanaian know that TVET education is the way to go if we really want to industrialize our country, and that we cannot go to China and other places to go and bring craftsmen, but we need to train the craftsmen in our country and use them.
John Sampa, thank you. Ben, do you have...
Well, I guess this is where we'll have to draw the curtains on the conversation. But it is clear then, in your final words, that your disagreement with your executive secretary is a sharp one, and you are hoping that the president does not heed this request, right?
Thank you very much. That is it.
All right. Thank you very much, John Sampa, for joining the conversation this morning. And maybe just to wrap, in the studio, education back on the table. And like I said, every time there is a change in guard, a change in government, you would see some of these things come up.